Good morning, my brothers and sisters all over the world. It is the 5th of August. Would you believe the time has flown so much? Well, my name is ALPHEUS, and we do what we call track and field legends. And we've already taken numerous amount of track and field legends all over the world. And I will tell you this that we have great news, and great news.
I started competing back in
Listed, yes.
1973 in the discus, but I never got international fame till 1975 at Carifta, Bermuda, when I won a silver medal in the discus in Bermuda in 1973, throwing against Dilton Woodley. Then I further went on to better my career, breaking the Bahamas record that same year in '75, and went on to college in '76 at Miami-Dade Community College North Campus, where I finished second in my first year at the National Junior Collegiate Championships, and went on the second year. Was supposed to win the meet, but I bombed out in the qualifying rounds and didn't make it to the finals. I also, and from that, I came on and I won a scholarship at Florida State that year, where I threw 58 in junior college, and I went on to Florida State to compete in NCAA, and I finished fourth that year, winning in NCAA in Eugene, Oregon. And the next following year, I broke the national record in Illinois, Champaign, Illinois, and won the national championships as the first person to win a national championship at Florida State. Then I went on from Florida State, competing against throughout the Caribbean, throughout the world. I competed in Cuba. I competed in Venezuela, in Puerto Rico, and all about in Australia, New Zealand, Hungary, Finland, Spain, no, no, Norway, and Sweden and Switzerland. I had a very productive productive program going for me for over the number of years that I competed, where I won many medals and was champion throughout the world. I was Commonwealth champion in 1982 in Brisbane. Before that, in 1978, I was a silver medalist at the Commonwealth Games, and I came back to compete in '86, and they called a boycott on us, and we were not able to go to Edinburgh, Scotland, to compete. Uh, Throughout my career, I finished sixth at the World Cup Games. I also competed in Helsinki at the World Championship, but I finished ninth overall. So it was a long, productive time competing on the international scene.
Robbie,
Yes.
let me ask you, with regards to your competition all over the world, what do you think now was the 5 best competitions you've had over the world?
The 5 best competitions I had over the world would be in Cuba, when I threw my first 66 meters, and then I went on to then I competed in the world Grand Prix, when I finished sixth that year overall. At Helsinki, I finished ninth in Helsinki. and then the Commonwealth Games for me. They were the top five.
But my question now is, you've been all over the world. When you look at friends from all over the world, east, west, north, and south, and sometime at the pole, but I know you've been down under, tell me who you consider as friends, looking back.
Uh, some of the friends I had over the world would have been like Luis Delis from Cuba, John Powell and Mark Wilkin from the United States, Sven Waldrick from Norway. Also, the competitor, it was another competitor from Norway. I can't remember his name offhand, but these were guys I consider to be friends, and we every now and then I'll get a pop up on the chart from one of them saying hi. Also, Al Otto was also a friend of mine, and the Wolfgang Schmidt from Germany. These are the persons I came in contact with and made friends with throughout my competition.
Bradley, tell me this. You do know that the Bahamas has a number of athletes right now, talking about the world under 20. And we have somebody who has Tishon, and we believe that on Saturday he will win the world under 20. We have somebody in the hurdles that just won the hurdles, and that's the first Bahamian to win a hurdle event. First Bahamian to win a hurdle event. And if we go to the Commonwealth Games, we talk about the long jumper. Tell us what you feel about what Bahamians can do. We feel, when we came from Dusseldorf, I think it was, we started talking about the Bahamas, small country and great athletes. We talk about that again and again, but it wasn't me who brought it up. This fellow was a statistician in Germany, and they put on an event that year, which Sabathita ran and she got second, third place, the first lady to win an event. Okay, so I say we're that good. Tell us what you think and where we should be going.
We should be going a long way, Hawk, in that we have some work to do as a country. We have some work to do as coaches, in that the athletes that we have now have a lot of talent, but a lot of them don't have the discipline that's needed that we had in our days. And a lot of coaching programs need to change quite a bit and realize that the world has caught up to us and has begun to surpass us. And unless we change some of the things that we're doing and our attitude towards each other as coaches and athletes change, we will get left behind. The world is moving forward. We need to move forward as well, Hawk. We need to move forward. And I think the athletes are doing quite a great job right now in trying to move the country forward. But we need some extra help in moving this forward.
Bradley, I'm sure you looked at the World Under 20, where this young man from, I'm not sure if it's Nigeria or whatever it is, and he set a record turning back. Okay, turning back, and you don't get 100 meters, and he set a record. But the point is that he has been, his idol is the fellow from Jamaica, Usain Bolt, and he want to do like Usain Bolt. But Usain Bolt could turn around and look at everybody else, which he did. But when the event came, the fella beat him so bad. You know, he was supposed to be the person who would have two things, because, you know, he would have been around the 200 meters, and he got beat. So you have to concern yourself. You can't be on the track. You are not Usain Bolt. You like Usain Bolt. Your thoughts about that? We had a situation at the government school, Radley. I won't call any names because there are not a number of government schools. And in the relay or in a particular race, he was looking down at people down and hailing them and everything. That, your thoughts about that?
I think that's too much showboating. I think if you are a serious athlete, you just need to go there, get the job done, and be humble to all the other athletes or athletes there, and respect them for who they are, and stop trying to showboat them or show them up.
Bradley, I suggest to the coaches, if they do that one more time, they're off the team. You have to be, you know, you have to be sportsmanlike. But what I'm saying is that I think you understand what I mean. There has to be some discipline that comes with it.
Yeah, because you can't showboat on a person and then expect that person to be your friend, or you go and shake their hand. That won't work. That
Not
makes the person angry, and you'll never be friends.
So one question, Rodney. You retired, aren't you?
Yes.
How long have you been retired?
Since June 30th.
June 30th. So right now, what do? You don't go home and sleep the whole day and everything else. Tell us what you do.
Well, if I have something to do, I try to leave the house at about 9:30, go and get it done. And then I come back home and probably just lazy around the house or do whatever I could do, get some sleep. And then around about 4:30, 5 o'clock, I do a little personal training on Montecue with the individual.
That's what we were thinking, because somebody with the talent like you have to continue to give. And that's what happens. And you actually said that you're still coaching, didn't you, Bradley?
Yeah, I was still coaching, and I think during this time, over the last 2, 3 years or 4 years, I've been coaching other sports other than track and field. I had a baseball player. I had 2 swimmers that I coached, and also I coach a number of other athletes in other events to get them for strength training. But I did a lot of personal training with individuals as well during this process. So I try to keep myself as busy as possible and try to work with people. And even in personal training, if someone asks me for assistance, I would draw up a program, send it to them, and then work with them from there in a Zoom atmosphere. As you know, when we were during the pandemic, I did a lot of Zoom training. And I do a lot of online training where I send the individuals to work out and got response or reply from them back from them. I think one of the interesting things is, Hawk, is that the coaches here in the Bahamas still believe that there's a babysitting, and the parents believe that coaches are babysitters. We are not babysitters. We are supposed to set the program out for the athletes, and the athletes are then to go ahead and do the program, and you are supervisor. when I went to college, I saw my coach once a week. And when I went to Florida State, the only time I got to see my coach is 4 weeks before the national meet. Then he would come out there at 2 o'clock in the day to watch me throw, watch me train, and that would be it. Most of my training during those years, I did it by myself on basically on what I knew and what I was told to do. Only time I had some individual personal training is when I was home with Mr. Parker. But most of the
Randy,
training, yes.
go ahead. I remember what I want to ask.
Okay, most of the training to time, I had to do it on my own. I had to learn the event. I had to become a scholar of the discus throwing. And when I went away, I learned from a lot of people. John Powell was one of the persons I learned from. He did a clinic in Miami in 1977, and he taught me a few things that I learned, and also gave me his book that he wrote, and that's where I learned. And I eventually wrote a book of my own. Throwing made easy for throwers. So I don't think we need to be so much babysitters in coaching. We need to be coaches. We need to be friends, not babysitters.
Well, I told you I would remember this. Who have you been honored by? Around the world, your school, and all of that. See if you could
Okay.
remember. I know you got a lot of honors.
I've been in the Hall of Fame here in the Bahamas. I've also been in the Hall of Fame of Florida State, and also the Hall of Fame of the Florida Relays. They are the honors I have out there.
My final question is, you have a family, don't you?
Yes.
So tell me how many people in your family. Give me the names.
In total, it's 4 of us.
Okay.
Myself, my wife, Etris Cooper, my daughter, Nastasia Cooper, and my son, Bradley Cooper Jr.
Excellent, excellent. Well, when we have these talks, you always forget something. Is there anything that we missed or I missed?
The only thing I could think of right now is that right now I have a lot to thank God for, and also my parents who are now deceased. But they were a huge backer behind me during my CRIFTA and college days. They supported me, and I thank them for that. And also, I have persons like who were in the beach race who are now deceased, Dr. Nordich, Livingston Boswick, and of course yourself for the support that you've given me over the years. And any other coaches that I don't remember, I thank them all for their support.
Well, was Ronald Cartwright one?
He was around.
Was around.
He always claimed that he was my coach, but he was never my coach. My coach home was Mr. Keith Parker.
Yes. Well, my brother, thank you ever so much. I feel great about me having the opportunity of taping you for this ALPHEUS Fenderson Track and Field Legends. And please remember, you are a legend. Thank you ever so much.
Thank you.